largest Chinatowns in the United States, and of course number one in San Francisco, number two is New York, then it's LA, and then it's us, the fourth. We are placed at the fourth, and the bridge, the lovely bridge, just ends right there, so don't ever drive off that bridge, guys. Oh, I can see a huge mall there, with a Whole Foods. Ooh, and the Portillo's down here too. South Loop, South Side Portillo. So yeah, you guys, we're here at Taylor Street. Huge Italian community down here for the longest donkey's years ever. So we got red and red on both sides. We're gonna take it easy, guys, today. And so yeah, so what would cause these fine Chinese people to migrate all the way from the fine coast of California to the plains, cow country of Chicago? Well, I'll tell you. There were a series of economic, I guess, bills or laws that were passed that were starting to hurt the Chinese American community in San Francisco, and namely, most of the Chinese Americans in San Francisco were in the laundry business, and the city of San Francisco started passing laws saying something like, well, you can no longer use like a push cart to deliver your laundry. You gotta use a horse, which basically then, if you didn't want to do that, if you didn't want to use a horse, you had to pay a tax. So of course the Chinese Americans decided, well, you know, let's go somewhere where there aren't any laws passed against us or against our economic business, and then we'll you know, we'll sort of be able to compete, because they're as more as sort of like more well, not Native Americans, but white Americans, as more white Americans started getting into the business of laundry, they decide, you know, it was harder to compete for the Chinese Americans. So they were like of course the communities of white laundry cleaners would drop their prices, and then, you know, try to put like a lot of Chinese people out of businesses out of work. So the first mass movement, I think, was in like 1860s, where Chinese Americans started moving out, well, basically east to the Midwest, and that was as a result of these you know, sort of economic laws. Then things got really bad because the social conditions in San Francisco got really bad. Then there was of course the intercontinental railroad, what caused a lot of Chinese, which like the Pacific Intercontinental Railroad Company was you know, was like employing like 90%, basically 90% of their employees were Chinese Americans, Chinese Americans. So after they finished the railroad, they were all out of work, you know. So imagine like tens of thousands of Chinese Americans without any work. Most of them went back to the original you know, to the original community of San Francisco, but they couldn't find work, so why not, you know, make a move west, as already some, as already like a lot of Chinese Americans started moving already, so there was already like what they call a chain migration, if you will, into the Midwest. And then as they were settling, like in Chicago, they were helping each other out, you know. So they had their own clans, and they had their own kind of like almost gangs that would, you know, they would then guarantee them some work. Yeah, there's some kind of a big there's some kind of a massive bus or train hub right here, because yeah, we're just getting over 290 right here, and this will kind of like at 18th Street, just past the freeway here. On your left, on your left. Just past the freeway here. This says 290. No, these are the train tracks. 290 is still up ahead. All right, so, oh yeah, Chinatown. I don't know if it's engine number 8 or engine company number 10 in Chinatown. Happened to be the fire station that was used in Ron Howard's movie Backdraft back in the day. All right, guys, yeah, right here at 18th Street, and I believe right before the river, off of this bridge here, there's gonna be a beautiful viewing point of the skyline of Chicago. One of the most remarkable views from the south side here. All right, so yeah, here we go. See, best Baccarat side bets. Yeah, guys, and when initially the Chinese American community formed here, there were a lot of like sort of secret gambling houses here, where guys drank rice wine and smoked cigars.